Hi everyone, welcome to Miss Adams Teaches English Language and Literature A-Level. I just wanted to do a quick video to give you some last minute advice, top tips on how to tackle the Paper 2 exam, which I believe you guys are sitting tomorrow. So obviously you've got two questions to tackle in this paper. Now the first one, which is the unseen material, now that's only worth 20 marks. So you're going to probably spend a little less time on it than you are on your comparison question afterwards. So I'd say maybe hour, 10 minutes. So maybe 10 minutes of planning, an hour of writing, which leaves an hour and 20 for your comparison for section B. Some people might like to split it out a little bit more and do an hour and 30 on the comparison, an hour. You go kind of with you, and also like when you look at the paper, you'll kind of gauge, you'll either look at it and go, oh, I need to spend a little bit more time annotating this, or you'll think, oh no, I'm golden. Likewise with the comparison question, you might think, eesh, I need some time to plan, in which case you might give yourself that little bit longer. Okay, so when it comes to the unseen, regardless of what area you're doing, individual and society or one of the others, the most important thing is that you read that text for meaning, yeah? Check the blurb at the beginning, because that's going to give you some real insight in terms of like the relevant contexts, as well as the genre, audience and purpose. But I cannot stress this enough. The most important thing about this paper is that you identify the values, attitudes and the ideas of the writer or the subjects, depending on what the question is. That's your way in. That's what should be in your topic sentences. So when you're going through the extract, think to yourself, a few questions. How does it begin? Where does it change? How does it end? Yeah. So kind of have that in mind. But as you're going through that, think what values, attitudes, and ideas are being presented here. Is it deep admiration? Is it respect? Is it scorn? Okay. How do they feel? What do they think? What do they believe? What are their values? And once you've established that, then you're going to think to yourself, okay, what linguistic and literary methods are being used here? So when you come to do your paragraph structure, just think values, attitudes, and ideas in the topic sentence, then embed your quotes, and then you're going to do your analysis. Now, this is not just assessing AO1 and AO2. You also have AO3. Now that is so mean because it's an unseen, and AO3 is, of course, context. So hopefully in your study, what you've been doing is you've been researching the kind of broad cultural movements that are associated with your topic. So you should probably have a kind of fair understanding of what's been going on in the last 100 years that might be relevant to your topic, okay? So you've got that as a kind of basic. And again, like I said, the blurb will give you some sort of indications as well. But remember, if you get to it and you think, I don't know anything about the social historical context of this, then you still have conventions to fall back on, because the conventions of the texts, of the genre, is also included in AO3. Now, if you're not certain about this, I've done a video that basically takes you through every single text type and every single genre convention. So do have a little look at that. I think it's in my Paper 2 playlist, along with a couple of other bits of useful bits and pieces, So don't forget that context, because that's the thing that can sort of just disappear off a little bit. Buku to critical terminology. Lots of critical terminology, please, balanced across literary and linguistic concepts. So that's your first part of the paper done. Then you get to the second one, which is kind of like the meat, isn't it? Like, I was having a chat with one of my students the other day about whether or not you do the comparison first and the unseen afterwards, and we were saying that it's almost anticlimactic to finish your entire English A-level on an unseen, that it should be like the last sentence you write should be on Othello and Gatsby or whatever it is that you guys are doing. And I completely get that. It's almost like the unseen is a little warm-up to get you in the kind of space ready to go for your comparison. Now, planning is key, because the question that they're going to give you is probably going to be broad. It's probably going to be the kind of question that you could have actually done a whole 3,000 word essay on. You're not going to be able to cover everything. So you need to plan it, and then you need to define an angle, okay? and set that angle out in the introduction. I've got some detailed videos on this, so go and have a little look. They're aimed towards Othello and Gatsby, but the actual process is still the same, okay? But yeah, just define your angle. So if you get a question, I'm going to think about an essay that I did with one of my girls the other day. It was on journeys, and we decided that, you know, it was going to be about power, journeys to power. You know, things like that, have an angle. Or, you know, if you get a question that is on identity, well, don't try and define the way that identities shift with all characters, choose two, okay? Set that out for the examiner. I always think a good introduction focuses in on the angle, but also roots it in context, because remember, you are being assessed on context here as well. And it should also be comparative. So try and compare the context and explore why the angle of the question is so relevant and interesting in these two contexts. As you make your way through, topic sentences at the beginning should be comparative, yeah? Try and integrate that comparison all the way through. Don't go, here's 1.5 pages on one text, here's 1.5 pages on another text, here's now another page going. Like, make sure that it is nicely integrated, remembering that you can do both similarities and differences. So for example, sorry, I'm talking Othello and Gatsby, that's because those are the texts that I've done. If you were comparing, I don't know, Myrtle and Bianca, then your overarching like topic sentence might be, in both The Great Gatsby and Othello, women are used as tools for the men around, particularly because of their sexualization, or something like that. So I'm doing off the top of my head. And then you'll go into one text, explore, and then you're going to link over and go into the other. Like I said, I've got videos on it if you need to have a little look. Okay, last thing that I think I'm going to say, unless something else pops into my brain, is about proofreading. And I hear the groan coming from you all collectively, because let's be honest, no one proofreads. Like, I've been teaching long enough to know that quite often people don't proofread, or if they do proofread, it's like this cursory glance at the end of the paper. But do you know what I mean? After 2.5 hours of writing, you're scrambled. You're not going to pick up on loads of mistakes, or you won't have time to put them right. So my advice for both Section A and Section B is proofread as you go. So you write a paragraph and then you proofread it. You proofread it for mistakes, okay, and dodgy expression, but you also proofread it for your assessment objectives, and you think to yourself, have I used enough critical terminology here? Have I gone through 2 paragraphs without any reference to context or doffing my cap to the conventions of the form? And so then you've got the chance to go back, make the correction in the paragraph you've already written, and then you're going to be more aware of it as you keep going. So you'll have fewer mistakes. And that's the only other thing I was just going to say, because I said dodgy expression. Be clear and concise. Do not freak yourself out about needing to sound clever. Yeah? Obviously, that will shine through your arguments and the way that you use terminology, but try not to overcomplicate your writing. I think I comment on this in another video. Like, quite often people have a tendency to overwrite and they just sound mental. Keep it simple. Keep your arguments clear. Keep your arguments concise. Right, that's it from me. I'm going to sign off now. I want to say a massive good luck to absolutely everyone taking the exam. I also, sorry, I know I shouldn't do these things, but I'm going to. I just want to say a particular good luck to Connie and Phoebe and Ben and Will and Archie. And I'm so sorry I left you at the end of year 12. But you're going to be golden. You're going to be so brilliant. So good luck, good luck, good luck. And let me know how it goes in the comments. Happy revising. Good luck in the exam tomorrow.